Hi all, welcome back to the final whistle then for another match preview. It's Christmas Eve and Leicester City head to Liverpool on Boxing Day, and am I looking forward to it? Yeah, how many goals are we actually going to ship with bloody this defence? And that is the key issue, man. And we take on the league leaders, Leicester, and search for the points. And yeah, I think we're desperate at this time of year for the points. So hopefully Santa brings us some points on Merseyside on Boxing Day. But yeah, big grueling challenge ahead awaits Leicester at Anfield, and yeah, it's going to be a very interesting game regarding lineup as well. I'm going to go through predicted lineup of what I think and all that, score predictions. I'm going to be joined by Callum Sanderson from Team Coppish. He's going to give me the lowdown on the Reds this season, as they seem to be on some very hot form going into this game. Guys, as always, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new and you haven't subscribed already. It would help me out massively. And yeah, let's see who's in the comments this morning then. Merry Christmas, everyone. Yes, Merry Christmas to all the followers who follow us on YouTube and, of course, on the socials. Hello, Eddie. How are you, my friend? Hope you're good. Jack, you look younger. Where's your nice beard gone? Mate, do you know what? I didn't think it was cold at first. I thought, you know what, I might take it off. But, mate, I was regretting that decision. As soon as I took it off on bloody the weekend, it was freezing, man. And when that cold hits your face, there's no going back, I tell you. Merry Christmas, Dawn, and all the Leicester supporters and Liverpool as well. Yeah. Let's get my guest in, Callum Sanderson from Team Coppish. Let me swap us over. Morning, Callum. How are you?
Morning, bro. I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on the channel again, bro. How are you?
I'm all right. Still getting over the weekend's result, but I'm good. I mean, you're going to be better.
I'm still buzzing.
And just come off a 6-3 win against Tottenham at the weekend. So you're not going to be very confident going into this one. And yeah, I think you're going to fancy Leicester at this time of year.
Yeah, I don't like to take any game for granted, and we spoke about this before we started, that when we played you, when we were chasing the league and you beat us 1-0 when Salah missed a penalty, Mane missed a chance, and then Lookman scored a goal. I think that was the game that actually, when I look back on that season, was the game that kind of lost us the league. And I do expect us to win, but I think everyone's looking at the Spurs game and thinking, oh, we're just going to run through Leicester.
Yeah.
Spurs are very, very naive in their play. Like, they know, we saw them go down to 9 men against Chelsea and still play a high line. Postecoglou is one of the most stubborn people I've ever seen in my life. I thought Brendan Rodgers was bad, and we can both attest to how stubborn he can be. But Ange takes the crown on this one. So I expect to win, but I don't think it's going to be an easy game like a lot of people suspect.
Yeah, like Martin says, Hart says damage limitation versus Liverpool. Dreamid will say 2-1. I think Leicester fans would take 2-1 in a minute going into this. Obviously, Ruud van Nistelrooy's come in, hasn't he? You know, he's had 4 games. Beating West Ham, drawing against Brighton, lost to Newcastle, lost to Brentford, conceded 7 goals in the last 2 games. Leicester, yeah, the defence just don't seem to be knowing what they'll be doing this season at all, to be fair. If you talked about with Leicester fans about the defence, they'd call it crumble. And that is how we'd probably look at this game, to be fair. If you put any little pressure on us, then, yeah, we fold like a bloody cardboard box, let's be fair. And if Danny Ward's in goal, then we're probably talking double figures, Callum, to be fair. Obviously, you lot would know Danny Ward well. He kind of ripped us off for him for £12 million 6 years ago. But, yeah, we've also got your ex-academy product in Connor Cody.
Yeah, there's a nice little tie between Liverpool and Leicester. A club I've always liked and respected, if I'm going to be honest. Dan, if I'm going to, shall I confess something here?
Go on.
We sold Danny Ward the summer after we lost the Champions League final in 17-18. That was with the Carrius game, if you can remember.
Yeah.
I was screaming from the rooftop that Danny Ward should be our number one starting goalkeeper because I didn't think we were going to buy one. And we still had Carrius, we still had Mignolet. Then we brought in Allison and my take then was, perfect. Let's sell Mignolet, let's sell Carrius, and let's keep Danny Ward as backup. I don't know what's happened to Danny Ward because this isn't the same guy that we sold, but this is 6 years later.
Yeah.
The lack of game time for him over his career has really caught up with him because even though he's an older goalkeeper, I don't think he's massively experienced, if I'm going to be honest. And I think it shows sometimes in his command and things like that. Connor Cody, on the other hand, is extremely experienced. Obviously, Bulls got them promoted and was captain for them, played in the midfield, then played in the back three when people like Ruben Neves came in. Then he went to Everton, which is when things started going really downhill for Liverpool fans with Connor Cody. He started to become really spiteful during games. Like, I understand you want to win and stuff, but he started just doing really silly things. And like Liverpool fans were like, well, you used to play for us. You came for our academy. And then now he's at you guys. And I think we both said it, like he's not the player that should be leading a defense. He's someone that should still be in the locker room. He's a massive presence, but you need to upgrade your centre-back partnership. You need to upgrade your back four and maybe even a midfielder. Vardy's still doing the business. Like Vardy for me is one of the best strikers to grace the Premier League. I think he's massively underrated because he played for you guys and didn't play for quote unquote one of the big teams.
Yeah,
you only have to look at his goal scoring prowess and what he's done in the Premier League. A legend. I don't even think legend really sums it up correctly. Like Vardy is, I'll be honest, Vardy is probably everyone's second favorite player from an opposition team. Like he's just loved by a lot of other fans because he's who he is and he scores goals and he stayed with you guys and was loyal to you guys. So, and bloody hell, he likes to score a goal against Liverpool as well, doesn't he? So I'm hoping he doesn't do that in the game on Boxing Day.
Yeah, I think he's got a good record against the Big Six, if that's what we want to call it. Happy Christmas, Malcolm. Rumour around Harry Maguire could come back on a free. I mean, Harry Maguire is better than our centre-halves, let's be fair. I think Leicester are going to be massively in the window for some defenders in January. I think we bloody need it after the mistakes time and time again this defence makes. I mean, me and Callum spoke about James Justin, and I was talking to Callum. I said, since his ACL injuries and that, he just hasn't been the same fullback since. And I think that's sort of hindered his career, to be fair, in my opinion. You know, obviously, you look at Leicester's defence, you know, they do well in the Championship, wouldn't they? Let's be fair, they'd probably be in a Championship winning team. But then, how do you think with the Premier League, Callum? Obviously, you looked at Sheffield United, Burnley, and Luton last season, all come up, all went down. And then you're looking at Leicester, Ipswich, and Southampton. How big is the gulp now with the Premier League? Obviously, it was never as big before, but now it seems to have got even bigger.
Yes, when you put it like that, it has. The thing is, though, I think Southampton are definitely gone. I don't think they've got a chance now, unfortunately for them. In terms of you guys in Ipswich, I think you have to take it game by game. I think you almost have to play this Premier League and you have to kind of play the probability. So you guys have got us and then you've got Man City in the next game, right?
Yeah, we've got you and then Man City, yeah.
So technically, you shouldn't get any points from those. And we should.
Yeah, for it being a Leicester way if we did.
Exactly. So again, I think we'll win the game. I don't think it'll be easy. But the Man City game usually would be a shoe-in. Like it's at Etihad, you're thinking it's at the Etihad, right?
That's at King Power.
It's at King Power. Usually you'd be thinking Man City go there, they're gonna do the business, they'll win the game. But this Man City team ain't been doing what they're meant to be doing. So
I think it's like 1 win in 12 in it for them.
1 in 12, yeah, and I'm loving it, by the way. So
I'm not away from you.
So like you think to yourself, I'm not saying you go weaker against Liverpool, but do you try not to exert as much energy and then maybe think, right, we can actually get something from the Man City game, or do you go to yourselves, look, let's try and catch Liverpool cold? Everyone thinks that we're going to lose, so what have we got to lose? It's a tough predicament. And plus, you're looking at when you come up, obviously you're buying players and you're hoping that they acclimatize and adapt to the Premiership quickly. And plus, you're looking at players who have been in the Championship, and if they can come up and make the step up, it's a hard jump to make from the Championship to the Premier League. I don't think it's impossible, especially for you guys, though, where you have got that Premier League heritage. Van Nistelrooy seems like he knows what he's doing as well. Still early days for him, but I have a sneaky feeling you'll be all right this season. And plus, I wouldn't mind if you guys stayed up and Everton went down. So please, let's make that happen.
Martin says we'll have the Bulldog spirit when it's needed. We'll scrape it and stay up, but just maybe a point in it, to be fair. I mean, that's the thing with Leicester. I mean, January is going to be massive for Leicester. I think they really need strength. I think this is where Ruud says, well, this is where I get my team in it. Obviously, he's come into a team where he just probably isn't comfortable with his team at the minute. He's thinking, yeah, I can't do anything right now. In January, then you can judge him after January and say, okay, then well, Ruud, you brought in your players. It is working, or it's kind of like if and but.
Yeah.
The main aim for Leicester this season is staying up. It's not bloody Champions League, as much as we'd love to be back in the Champions League after years ago when we was in it, playing the likes of Sevilla and that. But it's about the here and now, and we're not in that position at the 8 years on from when we did. So it's a tough sort of conquest with Leicester this season. You know, we've got to get this team going. I mean, you look at the team where we brought in the players of Edouard, who's on 90 grand a week, of the 120 grand. I think Palace are paying 30k of it. We're paying 19. We're thinking Edouard doesn't even feature. So
yeah, I was gonna say.
And then you look at Deco Reed, Oliver Skips, and players like that who are just more bench players than anything. You know, we in the summer needed to go for players that are going to play in the starting 11, not bloody players who we want on the bench, because our starting 11. It's like we just papered over the cracks. I mean, we brought in El Canoes, Buonanotte from Brighton, and we're thinking, yeah, these are some decent prospects for Leicester. Samare's come back, and you're thinking, what a revelation for him. I think he's been great since he's come back, Samare. But Christensen just hasn't cut the mustard at Leicester. I'm sorry, but he's not been great at all. And the defence as a whole has not been good. But then you talk about the midfield, Callum, you know. Harry Winks has been injured this season. Wilfred Ndidi's been injured. It's two key players who would do things in the Prem because they've got that Premier League experience to show what they're about. But Oliver Skips, just £25 million. I don't think he's just not the player, is he, for us?
No, it doesn't seem like he's been the guy for you guys. And as you said, Ndidi, I know you spoke about James Justin. Ndidi is another one. At one stage, he was touted as one of the hottest prospects in the Premier League. That midfield trio you had of him, Tillemans, and Maddison, in my opinion, at the time, even though it might not have been the best, it was the most balanced midfield in the league, in my opinion. But you look at the injuries he picked up and the fact that his career kind of stagnated. Winks, again, is a very tidy player. I think he would have done really well next to Ndidi if he was fit as well. I just look at your midfield and I think you need to add someone there. And I know as football fans, we're greedy and think, yeah, we can upgrade every single position on the pitch, but sometimes it doesn't work like that. I think if I'm a Leicester manager or Leicester City fan, I'd be trying to improve the spine in the January. So try and bring in a centre-back, a midfielder, and then maybe one other striker. The striker's going to be a bit more difficult. Maybe someone in on loan. Maybe if you can send Edouard back, or just start playing him, do something. But for me, if you can shore up the spine and improve the spine, then I think you give yourselves a good chance of staying up. Yeah,
that's the thing. The main goal. I mean, you look at Matt Hermanson, you know, and the saves that he's made this season in game for Leicester, where you think we could have lost that if it wasn't for him.
Yeah,
you know, he's been a pivotal part of us this season. Him and Buonanotte, and if it wasn't for Mads, how many goals would Leicester concede is the problem. And you can kind of see it from him being injured now. You've had Danny Ward in goal for like 1.5 games. And Danny Ward came on against Newcastle. We conceded 3 goals. It ended up 4-0. You look at the Wolves game, a must-win game. And then you're looking at the team sheet and you think, you know, could we take a punt on getting Hermanson back? Do you risk him? And then obviously he's not risked him. He's then gone for Danny Ward, and Leicester fans are like, yeah, how many goals are we going to ship in this game? Danny Ward's not He's not the levels, is he, Callum? I mean, where
No.
would you put Danny Ward in the rankings of professional football?
In the rankings of, I mean,
because he definitely ain't Premier League. Let's be fair. The
no,
guy's on
he's
50
not.
grand a week, for God's sake.
Yeah, he's maybe Championship at best.
Stretching to League One.
Yeah, he's Championship at absolute best.
He just shouldn't be there, should he? I mean, you're playing a guy who's not comfortable. He's not a starter. He's not the keeper we need, and he probably knows that himself. But he's just there when given the chance because he's been given the chance to go in goal. But that second goal against Wolves, I don't know if you've watched it back, but the ball over the top, Justin doesn't deal with it. Danny Ward comes out for
he just stands there.
He just lays down, and I'm
man. He's not up to the level of Premier League, and again, he's another player you're gonna have to upgrade on. The only question I'd ask you as a Leicester City fan is he a priority over other positions right now?
I mean, we've got other keepers, Stolasic, Daniel Iverson. I thought we'd go for Iverson. If Iverson's fit, he should be third choice keeper in it under Stolasic. But Danny Ward's just took the space, and you think it's not the fact that I don't think it's the fact that Leicester fans hate Danny Ward as a person. They just tell him Van Nistelrooy, well, he's not good enough. They booed him at the weekend, and they always say never boo your own players, but fans pay good money, don't they? They pay more money to watch these teams, and if they're not getting the value for money in seeing the team have the effort and the desire to go and play well and to just turn up the way they do and think it's acceptable, fans are going to voice their opinion all the time.
And have a right to. Booing's a tough one because we've been as Liverpool fans. It's been a couple of times we booed players. I've never been a fan of it, but I understand why it happens. I can understand why it happens. But I'm hoping obviously you don't turn into prime Leicester when we play you, but I definitely I honestly think if you do some business and some good business in January, even if it's a couple of lone players, because you got players at some of the bigger teams who aren't playing, maybe want some game time. If you could do some business there, you might be with a chance, man.
Start Iverson, to that. Well, Stolasic is fit, so could we go with Stolasic the weekend? And the thing is, with Leicester, you kind of, before we get on to the Leicester game, it's a game where we're not expecting anything out of it, to be fair. It's about keeping that score line down and worrying about the goal difference, what comes afterwards, as you do when you're at the sort of near the bottom and you think, these are not the games you look at winning, but it's a bonus when you do. We as Leicester fans look at beating Ipswich, Southampton's, Wolves, Palace, Everton's, West Ham's, and them type of teams, because they're the type of sides this season, aren't they, who are going to be down that type of area in like this sort of mini league situation.
Yeah, that's why I was saying. That's why I think the Wolves game was such a big one for you guys, and obviously you didn't capitalize on it.
Game.
You have to beat the teams in and around you, because you're not just giving yourselves points, but you're taking points off their table as well, which can come in so handy towards the end of the season. You are going to have to take a couple of scouts from teams that you don't expect to win against from now to the end of the season, given the position you're in the table. But as you said, those teams that you're in and around, they are must-win games. You cannot, and even if you don't win them, you can't lose them, because giving a team around you 3 points could be the difference between you staying up and going down.
Yeah, that's the thing. Wolves have beat us now, and they're like 2 points behind us, and they're like 18th, we're 17th. If you think,
Whereas if you'd beaten them, you'd have been 5 points ahead of them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You'd have been further away from the relegation.
5 points is massive.
So I don't know. It seems like bloody typical Leicester at times to lose to teams who are near the bottom, but then you're looking at the bigger sides, and you think, well, Leicester seems to get points against the bigger teams. So it's interesting when we talk about Leicester. I remember one year we beat Chelsea away, and then we beat Man City at home, and then we lost to Cardiff. And Cardiff are at the bottom, and I'm thinking, oh, for God's sake, man, it's
typical, isn't it?
So, but you get them games, don't you, Callum? To be fair,
you do, and I think that's when you look at your team and you go, right, they're getting themselves up for the big game, and not necessarily. I'd say maybe a little bit of complacency creeps, and you think, right, we've beaten Man City, we've beaten Chelsea. surely we beat Cardiff, right? If we just play our game, and then obviously you maybe don't approach the game in the correct manner, and that's excuse me, that's where you end up dropping points. Liverpool have done that over the years.
Yeah,
we'll go and smash. The prime example, Liverpool, when we beat Man United 7-0, beat them 7-0. No one's expecting that result. We expected maybe to win, but no one's expecting 7-0. The week later, we lose to Bournemouth. The week later, and you're sitting there going, all right, so we can knock 7 past Man United, our biggest rivals, and then we go Bournemouth and lose 1-0. It's complacency and arrogance that creeps in with humans, and footballers are no different.
Callum, let's touch on Liverpool before we touch on the game. Actually, before, let everybody know where they can find you, mate, and what you do regarding Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah, so I'm on a channel called Team Coppish, alongside Matt and Drifty, and we literally just chop up about Liverpool, and now and again we speak about some of the other teams in and around us as well. We do a bunch of stuff. We do, like, the other day I was at Spurs doing a vlog, and we'll do match previews, reactions, and panel shows, etc. So yeah, you can find me on social media at Callum Sanderson on all platforms as well, and then at Team Coppish on all platforms. So yeah.
You're not bloody wrong, Caleb. Let's be fair. I'm not sitting there confident at all as I speak to Callum. But yeah, Caleb, you're probably right, to be fair. We do fear that these types of games, you know.
This is going to make me sound really arrogant.
Go on.
I hope it doesn't come across like that. We look like that against Spurs because Spurs were as bad as we were good.
Do you think it's because they push further, they play more attacking, and they just don't care what's behind?
You can't when you're playing against Trent, for example, I know if Trent's going to have a good game within the first 10 minutes of a game.
Yeah.
His passing radar was on in the first 10 minutes. If your defense against Trent and Trent's on, you take 10 yards back and you sit deeper, because he will just find passes that you will not expect him to find. Plus, we have runners as well. We've got Gakpo, Diaz, and Salah, who will run all day for you guys going forward. You do not play a high line against Liverpool when you've got runners and then you've got Szoboszlai breaking from the midfield as well. It was one of the most naive performances I've ever seen. I don't want to take anything away from Liverpool. I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm always going to big my team up. We were fantastic. But as fantastic as we were, Spurs were terrible. There is no way Leicester are going to play how Spurs did. There is no way. And if Spurs are going to play like that, you at least do that when you've got like your likes of Mickey van der Ven or Christian Romero there, who can cover those spaces because they have got decent turn of pace. They just played into our hands. And if you play into our hands, we are going to beat you. It's like stepping in there with Mike Tyson with your hands down. You're going to get knocked out. But if you stand there and you try and at least defend, at least you might have a chance of getting something out of it. Whereas Spurs they approached the game in the wrong way. We took advantage. I don't see that happening against Leicester. That's why I keep on saying, I know we scored 6 against Spurs. I do not expect us to score anywhere near that amount against you guys.
Yeah, that's the thing with us. You talk about defence. I mean, we don't have to attack like Tottenham to defend the way we defend. You get what I'm saying? We just do it on our own. We don't need to be counter-attack, man. We just fall apart without even counter-attacking any team. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's been us this season, Callum, to be fair. We've conceded 37 goals in the Premier League defensively, and we're thinking, for fuck's sake, here comes another game. I was furious at the weekend watching that 3-0 bloody drumming to Wolves in the first half. One of the worst first halves I've seen. Leicester fans leaving in their droves at half time, and rightfully so, because that game was done.
Did you go to the game, by the way? Or
I did.
Oh, that's even worse.
I couldn't believe it. The thing is, I can believe we defend like that, innit? Because we've had, before the Wolves game, we had 84 shots against us. Before the Wolves game, I don't know how many Wolves had against Leicester. Let me just have a quick look. But yeah, we had quite a few against us. So I'm just trying to work out. So Wolves match stats, they had 8 shots. So yeah, call it 92 shots in the last 5 games against us. So yeah, Leicester seems to have a lot of shots against us than we have against the opponents. So that maybe that's something you lot look at us at the weekend. I'm not surprised we defend like that, to be fair. And Vestergaard turned like a double-decker bus in the first goal we conceded. Danny Ward's got to do better. He doesn't position himself. The second goal's just embarrassing, to say the least. And the third goal, Ward saves it and it goes in, and you think, oh, for God's sake, man. And then we have nothing going forward. Obviously, Vardy's running to close
he
to
needs service,
the keeper, and he's just not getting nothing out of it. And Vardy needs service, but you can't keep relying on him all the time. You know what I mean? You always need players to step up when needed, and we just don't seem to have that. Talk to me about Liverpool. First in the league, doing very well this season. I have got you on to go and win the title this season. There's going to be no Lookman goal to bloody put you off the
scent. Please, not this time, please.
No, talk to me about Arne's slot. Obviously, Klopp left. Arne's come in. He's brought in Chiesa, hasn't he, in the summer. Some question that Liverpool could have brought in a centre defensive midfielder, but they didn't. He's kind of gone with what he's got and kind of gone from there. But how good has Arne's slot been at Liverpool this season?
Bro, I think the biggest compliment I can give him is that no one speaks about Klopp anymore, in the sense of no one misses Klopp at the helm. We still miss Klopp the person and still love Klopp. Like, he's my favorite manager of all time. But no one sits there and goes, I wish we still had Klopp. And that's massive. And I think even though I'm one of those people who criticizes the board, especially with the lack of business we've done over the last couple of years in certain positions, I have to give them massive credit for this appointment, because it would have been so easy to get this wrong. And going from a personality and a manager like Klopp, and then bringing in someone who could take us up a level, which Slot has done so far, is quite incredible, because a lot of rival fans had us dropping out the top four, and they said it's the banter era coming for Liverpool and everything. And those fans have kind of gone quiet now. And granted, I'll be honest, I never saw Liverpool doing this in the league. I thought we'd finish third this season. I thought Arsenal would win the league, City would finish second, and then we'd finish third. When Rodri went out injured, I said, I think we'll finish second now. I think Arsenal will still do it. I think we'll finish second now. I'm not sitting there saying we're definitely going to win the league. I'm saying we have put ourselves in a fantastic position, though. And I look at how the team's playing and the fact that we've dealt with injuries pretty well. The fact that our players are coming back from injury and suspension now, and our squad's looking really healthy. There's rumors that we might go into the January window and do some business. As a Liverpool fan, honestly, bro, I couldn't ask for much more than this. Top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League, semi-finals of the Carabao Cup, FA Cup first games against Accrington and Stanley. Honestly, bro, as a Liverpool fan, I am over the moon. Like, this is the best Christmas I could hope for as a Liverpool fan. Fantastic.
Who do you think's been your most key player? Obviously, you talk about Mo Salah, but anyone else you'd like to really pick up on? I mean, a McAllister, a Gakpo, a Diaz.
Yeah, for me, it's been Gravenberch, bro. So for me, Virgil van Dijk, in my opinion, so Salah's been our player of the season so far. I'd say Virgil's been second, but Gravenberch has been our most important player. I know it's going to sound probably silly that I'm saying that he's third in the pecking order in terms of who's been the best, but he's the one that glues that team together. He's able to receive the ball under pressure, turn out, and then open the pitch up. He's also able to drive forward when he needs to. His interception and reading of the game and defensive play has been excellent this season as well. McAllister's our best centre midfielder. And I know it sounds weird again, but Grav for me is our most important. And we're really fortunate in the quality we have. I still think we're short a centre midfielder, and I'm hoping that's the business we do in the January window. But honestly, like those players have just covered themselves in glory. And look, Virgil, Salah, Trent, they're all going into the last few months of their contract. The sooner those are sorted, the better, in my opinion.
Yep. Does Callum think Ben Doak will be good enough for the Premier League? Obviously, he's out on loan at the minute, isn't he, Doak?
Yeah. It's a really tricky one with him, because in one-on-one, he beats his player a lot of the time. He's very good in one-on-one situations. The final ball is what's lacking, though, and his lack of output is the problem.
Is it Middlesbrough, is that?
Yeah, he's at Middlesbrough and he's doing well there. And even in the international break when he played against Gavardio, he absolutely just destroyed him on the day. So he's a player that can do that. But again, it's the end product. I look at Doak and I think he's a player that will probably have a Premier League career, probably just not at Liverpool though.
Fair enough. Callum,
Very
you know
good player,
where we're gonna go next with this one.
Yeah.
Liverpool versus Leicester, the big blockbuster clash at Anfield. First versus 17th. Leicester go into this game with a shipping like goals, not business defense. We go into the game with us after a 3-0 drumming to Wolves, back-to-back defeats. And yeah, these are the type of games, you probably don't want to be playing after, you want to be playing the teams in and around you at this point, not the teams at the top. But big game for Liverpool in it against Leicester, as Ross says in the comments. But what is your feeling ahead of this game, and what are you expecting from Leicester as well as a Liverpool fan?
I'm confident going into the game. From Leicester, I'm expecting you guys to play a low block and try and hit us on the break. I don't know what that looks like though, because you have to be brave doing that, and you have to play players up top with pace. Obviously, Vardy's got a good pace, but whether he's got that engine in him anymore remains to be seen. You've almost probably got to go a 4-5-1, but then ask your wingers to break alongside Vardy. So as soon as you guys get the ball, your wingers have got to be sprinting forward to try and push our fullbacks back and keep our centre-backs back as far as possible as well. So I expect you guys to employ a low block. I'll be honest with you, if you don't employ a low block, you're asking for massive trouble.
Yeah, this is the kind of game for me where I'll be watching it through my fingers. I'm not I might just pull my Santa hat over my eyes, to be fair. Because, I just don't think it's going to look pretty. The thing is with this squad at the minute, after the back-to-back defeats, conceding 7 goals, and we've got one of the worst defenses in the league. You'd probably think we've got the worst, to be honest, the way we play and the goals that we concede. To be fair, we've got to keep Salah quiet, and that's not an easy task at all. We've got Christensen, for God's sake. Christensen's like bloody Ronan Keating, our boyzone, more than he is a footballer. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of thing. And
boyzone's a flashback. That is
good. We've got Vestergaard and Cody in defence at the weekend, unless we put a Coley in, which Coley are bringing a bit more pace. I think he'd bring a bit more stability because he's a big lad, isn't he? And obviously, I don't know where you'd go with either Nunes or Jota down the middle. So he's one of them I'd probably say would be better in this game, if I'm honest. He's not really up to the pace of the Premier League as of yet, but yeah, maybe he'd be right for this game. I mean, Hamza Chowdhury, you'd know him quite well. Loves a good challenge at Anfield.
Yeah, I know he does,
He'd probably be my better sort of right back going into this game than James Justin. James Justin, I mean, you play, is it Diaz on the left-hand side? So
this is what I'm saying. I don't know what we'll do in terms of who will play up top. Salah's the definite one. I don't know if we'll go Jota or Diaz through the middle. I don't think it'll be Nunes. I think he's far down in the pecking order at the moment. And then if Jota plays through the middle, I don't know if Diaz will play on the left or be Gakpo. I think it'll be Gakpo down the left and Jota through the middle, just to give Diaz a little bit of a break, because he did run a lot in that Spurs game and we don't want him to burn out. I think that'll be the front three though. I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
Liverpool have got a threat all over the pitch, haven't they? They've done very well this season. They'll be licking their lips going into this game. A wounded Leicester. This is a grueling challenge for us at Anfield. This is a big ask if we are to get anything out of this game. But the thing is, well, Leicester, like I mentioned to you before, that we seem to not do well against teams who are at the bottom, who are in the relegation zone. But then we'll go and get something out of the teams who are near the top, and that's always been typical Leicester to go and do that type of thing. Everyone's wrote us off in this game. They're expecting us to lose 9-0, 7-0, double figures, 5-0, and Leicester, for me, have got to keep the score down in this game, because this is from the first minute to the 90, it's going to be how do we play? And the thing is, this defense is not confident at all. You put a little bit of pressure on our defense, and we crumble like apple crumble, innit? You might as well get the custard out on Boxing Day every time we can see the goal. But Hermanson, I don't know if he'll be fit for this game. I mean, Stolosic is fit now. Ruud van Nistelrooy had said so. Yeah, let's just hope, fingers crossed, we don't see Danny Ward in goal in this one, because let's just say it will probably wouldn't look pretty with the defence and Danny Ward in the same sort of conversation playing against Liverpool. But
could you potentially go James Justin left back? Because obviously then he'll be sort of counteracting Salah coming into his strong side on his left-hand side.
Justin probably would be better on the left, because he's a left back, and he's not a right back. Whether we go Hamza and Justin, and Justin switches over, would probably be better. But I think Harry Winks and Samara, they're going to be key players in this game. I don't think Ndidi will be back for this game. I'm not sure what Rudi's had to really say about on the Ndidi situation, but we've got to keep Liverpool out. I mean, we've got to put probably 10 buses on the line to keep this Liverpool team out, and it probably would sneak in past the tyre or something. Do you get what I mean? It's going to be a grueling challenge, like I say. It's a very tough game, and with us, when we do go to Anfield, Callum, you know it very well that Leicester always seem to score first.
Yeah.
And then after that point, it just doesn't seem to go well, does it?
Someone in the comments made a good point. Back in 2019, I think, it's Ross. Back in 2019, Maguire scored a goal to equalise and make it 1-1. And then in 2022, Ademola Lookman scored the goal to beat us 1-0. You guys seem to have a presence in us winning or losing the league, because when we beat you in the reverse fixture, remember in the reverse fixture though, when we beat you guys at King Power 4-0, that for me was the game where I was like, we've won the league.
2021,
If we do beat you guys, a lot of Liverpool fans will start to look at that and be like, this league's ours. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I might be one of those fans as well, bro. Like this is a bigger game than a lot of people realize for Liverpool Football Club. It's a massive game for us.
The thing is, Ross, if Santa wants to hand us the points on Thursday night on Boxing Day, and maybe cost Liverpool the title again, then we'll take it.
I'd prefer we beat you and you guys take points from City. That would be the ideal situation for me.
Yeah, well, we're not all friends in this business, Callum. Let's be fair. We can't be doing you any favours, and I'm not. You won't be doing us the favours either. So, I think it's going to be a difficult task. Like I say, Liverpool, tough place to go. I think you lot are doing quite well at Anfield at the minute. Still, I remember the time when you was it 80 odd games unbeaten?
Yeah. It's a silly amount. I know since Virgil's been at the club since 2018, we've only lost.
It's a fortress. It's a fortress for you, isn't it?
It is, and I think that's been the reason why we've had so much success over the past few years, is because teams will come to Anfield and they'll know it's very unlikely you get anything there. So I think we can continue that, to be honest.
What's that? I just want to know why majority of our YouTubers, Liverpool fans, continue to spew trash on the ownership of our club and our players. What are you going to do? Going to now that the league is ours? You are.
I can answer this one. So I'll answer.
I don't even understand what is.
Again, I'll answer from my perspective because I can't.
Go on.
Else. The issue I have with the owners is when Klopp was here, I think we were winning in spite of the ownership as opposed to because of the ownership. I look at owners like, for example, you guys, when you're winning the league and everything, and the fact that they were at every game and they were the ones really pushing you guys to get over the line. And then even though you might not have spent the money well, you were given the money to spend. I look at Liverpool and I think we brought in a brand new manager and he was only given 12 million to spend on Chiesa. Like that, for me, that is pretty negligent. Now, granted, he's turned that around, but I can't sit here and go, oh, Slot is thriving at Liverpool because of the ownership. Slot's thriving because he's doing what he's doing as a manager, and he's
getting the best out of his players.
Exactly, because if the owners don't give him any money to buy any players, and he's doing this with a previous regime's players, then I don't see how the owners can get credit for that. What I will say in terms of the ownership, commercially, stability wise, and also bringing in your likes of Arne Slot, that's where I'll give them credit. And they deserve credit for that. In terms of the club, I don't think I trust the club. In terms of the players, I think I'm critical of some of the players, and I think I'm justified to do that as a fan and someone who puts money into the club. So yeah,
fair enough. Callum, last time out at Anfield in the Premier League, obviously we played you in the cup since. We're not going to talk about the cup game. That's the slide goal. We went ahead in that game as well. I think McAteer scored. Oh, I think it was McAteer. Yeah, I think it was McAteer. Dewsbury Hall. It might have been Dewsbury Hall, one of them. Yeah, but last time round, Wout Fass. I mean, I'm sure you'd be open for that type of favour in this game. Talk to me about the last game.
Yeah, it was a weird one. When was that? What year was that game? That was not last season, the season before, right? So that would have been 2022.
Yeah, that was around Christmas period again. We got relegated.
That was around Christmas period again, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was just after Christmas again.
We weren't good that day at all, and we got pretty fortunate with the result. I remember, I think it was Dewsbury Hall who opened the scoring, and you guys scored first, and then
McAteer.
Oh, was it McAteer?
Yeah, McAteer, Casey McAteer, yeah.
And then I remember he was really unlucky with the 2 goals. I think one of them came off the post and then went in, and the other one ricocheted off him, and just took like a really weird like bounce, or took a really weird like loop over the goalkeeper. So you guys were unlucky on the day. You deserved more, if I'm going to be honest. But
it was kind of one of them where if Danny Ward had said leave the bloody ball,
yeah,
that wouldn't have happened. The first goal, but the second goal, I think it was Nunes who shot. It obviously hit the post.
Yeah, and then came straight back.
Wild Fast has gone to boot it clear.
Yeah,
and it's gone in the back of the net. And Liverpool were poor that day. Let's be fair. We went ahead through Dewsbury Hall, and we're thinking, you know what, we've got a decent chance. Like we think about every time we bloody go to Anfield when we score first, got a decent chance, and then it all goes sour, and things seem to happen, and it's our own doing that we do lose, and then you think the 2 goals that Wout Fass was a Liverpool player that day, and let's be fair, that he was your 12th man in that game, and it bloody cost us the game altogether. But then you've got to be, the defence and the goalkeeper's got to communicate a lot more. I think that's what I'd probably say from that defeat, that if we did communicate, I think we'd be far better. So did not make many. That is why
I think, do you know what? I'm just going to say, Red Rebellion TV, you seem to be annoyed with me, bro. I know you've got a YouTube channel. If you want me to come on the YouTube channel, we chop it up, then I'll come on the YouTube channel. I don't see the point in coming on a preview and trying to have a dig. I'm more than happy to have a debate with you about it. So if you want to do that, my DMs are open, man. Hit me up. Otherwise, stop talking nonsense. Simple.
Ross, which website do you use for the information you post on it? Thanks. I mean, probably Ross has got a lot of football pages he uses for that type of thing, stats and that. Transfer Market's good for different stats as well. And then the head-to-head thing, which I use quite often to get stats. But let's have a look at the last 5 at Anfield then, Premier League. 4-0 to you lot, 1 draw. I think that's the one Ross were referring to with Harry Maguire.
We should have had a penalty in that game, I remember as well. Naby Keita got taken out, and you guys got away with one there.
Hey, I mean, you lot have got away with a few decisions over the years against us. I think it equals itself out.
No comment.
But no, I think, in the last 5, it's been interesting, hasn't it? There seems to be quite a few goals in these type of games. And can Leicester get a goal? Who knows what's going to happen? Can we surprise them is another thing. But yeah, I just think it's going to be another another type of drumming game for us. Liverpool are on some very hot form at the minute, and they're a very good side. Leicester, on the other hand, they've just got to see what happens in the game. If we just got to try and keep Liverpool out for as long as possible. Defend well. I say that every game, but then we always know that the defense is not going to stay as strong as we hope. The thing is with the defense, Callum, it's very brittle. It's a brittle defense, and it ain't got a lot of pace to it. And Vestergaard, Cody, them type of players, it's not got blessed with pace. Do you know what I mean? They don't run like Usain Bolt.
Yeah,
they're not quick enough. If you had Salah running 1-on-1, I don't think Vestergaard would even catch him up. I'd be very surprised if he did. There was one game where this season, I think it was West Ham, Wan-Bissaka were running down the left, and Samori, I've never seen him run so fast. Do you know what I mean? He normally jogs, and you're thinking, this guy's not really got a lot of running speed. And he just gone. And he caught him up, and I'm thinking, where's that bloody Samori been? We need that in this game. They've got to bust along this Leicester team to keep the pace with Liverpool, and they've got to go and show what we can do. But these are the type of games that.
But these are the type of games where you do that as well.
Yeah. Ross is going on about didn't Mane go down like he was strictly back in 2019 October when Milner scored the penalty?
Technically, he was caught. he milked it. I'll admit he milked it.
VAR though on the other hand. I mean, you weren't much step on the toe with it. Let's be honest.
You got
players do it though, don't they? But the referees are always going to say, we'll go and look at VAR. But you know what's coming. As soon as they've gone to that screen and had a look, you know what's going to come. Team selection, the starting 11. I mean, how did Liverpool line up? Did they change a few players in this game? Obviously, with the quick turnaround, with the games that are coming up, how do you think you line up? Because you've got 2 games in a couple of days, like we have. So, do you think there'll be many changes in this one?
I don't think we're. So in defence, I don't think we'll make many changes. I think Trent will start. I think it'll be Gomez and Virgil again, and I think left back will be Robbo again. In midfield, I think it'll be McAllister and Grav. I think Jones may get the nod in number 10. And then I think it could be... So give me one sec. My little one just come in. Salah, Jota and Gakpo.
Yeah, Diogo Jota. Loves a bloody goal against us. Leicester... I'd go with Stolosic if Hermanson's not fit. Back 4, I'd probably drop Christensen, potentially play Justin left back with... It's going to go Vestergaard and Cody in it, but I'd probably play a Coley in there maybe with a Vestergaard or a Connor Cody. Right back, I mean, probably you'd need a Hamza Chowdhury in there, to be fair, to keep up with the pace down that right-hand side because you've got Robertson and players who have got pace. Samora and Winks will be in the midfield too for me. And then we have the last 4, Buonanotte, El Canous, and I tell you what, I think he'll stick with Mavidida. Jamie Vardy, he kind of picked up a knock in the Wolves game, so whether we go with Pat Sendaka is another thing. It's going to be an interesting one with who he goes up front. Maybe we start Vardy and then go with Daka for City, or he goes with Vardy for City and Daka for Liverpool. So, we'll see what happens. I think that's the lineup. Daka or Vardy up front will be probably the only options we've got, with Cannon being out on loan at Stoke. Edward, he's not going to play, is he? I think he'll go back in January for me. But it's going to be an interesting lineup to see what we've got. I don't know. Wilfred Ndidi could be fit. Who knows? It'd be good to have him in there, though, because these are the types of games you need the calibers of Ndidi's in there, and to really hold the play, you need some big players in there. And, hopefully we can win them midfield battles quite well. We've got to be more forceful against Liverpool in battling terms. We've got to hit the ground running in that game. And like I say, battle and take the fight to Liverpool. If we can do that and we can give 100% effort, then fantastic. But it's just we just let Liverpool run all over us, then we're going to be in trouble from the start, aren't we? If the first goal goes in and we kind of fold, then there's probably no going back. But score prediction, Callum. Do you want to be nice to us, or do you think it'll be a very high scoring game for you? Look,
I've got 3-1 Liverpool. I don't think
you're giving us a goal. Fantastic.
Yeah, but you always score a goal pretty much against us at Anfield. So I think it's almost a given that Leicester are going to come to Anfield and score at least one goal. So yeah, I've got 3-1. I think we'll score 3, but I definitely think we'll concede.
My heart and my dreaming would be the case of, maybe we could sneak something, probably damage limitation, if I'm honest. My head, 4-0, to say the least, probably 5-0, if I'm honest with you, with our defence, the way it is and that. And big things ain't happening, changes regarding Leicester till January. So, I'm gonna go with the head and heart scenario for me. I think, we'll see what happens. And may the best team win on Thursday. And hopefully Santa brings us something nice at Anfield. But
I hope not.
But Callum, thanks for coming on, mate. I do appreciate it. Let everybody know where they can find you and what you do at Team Coppish.
Yeah, so on Team Coppish on YouTube, we do a host of things. We've got a Christmas special coming out over the next day or so. Panel shows, previews, reviews, match day vlogs, fan cams, a bit of everything. So yeah, you can find me there. Also at Callum Sanson on all platforms as well. And I just want to say thank you to you as well. It's become a bit of a tradition now. Whenever you guys are playing us, we always do a show together. And long may that continue, man. I'm a big fan of what you do. And yeah, just keep up the great work, man. And thanks for having me on. I really do appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Callum. All the best for the season, of course, after Thursday until we meet again.
And likewise.
All the best. Have a good Christmas, mate. And I'll catch you in the new year.
Nice one.
Cheers, Callum. That was Callum Sanderson from Team Coppish. Very good guest. Great to see. Give us the lowdown into the opposition. What's coming up on the final whistle then? So we've got the match day vlog for Liverpool. We've got the Manchester City preview coming up as well. That'll be at the end of the week. We've got the Manchester City match day vlog as the Foxes take on Man City on Sunday. So another big game for Leicester. And a lot coming up on the final whistle for sure. Guys, hit that like button if you've enjoyed the stream. It'd be appreciated. If you could subscribe if you haven't already, then please get down and do so. And one thing I would like to say is Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope you have a great one, spending time with your families. And have a great Christmas. Hopefully Santa brings you something nice and maybe a point or 3 at Anfield would be fantastic for Leicester. But from everyone here at the final whistle, to all these subscribers and that, and really appreciate everyone watching. Take care, keep it at the final whistle, and up the Foxes. Hi all, thank you for watching the final whistle. If you enjoy all our content, please remember to smash a like, share, and subscribe to the channel.